thought, this is a bit odd. Why are they waiting for their mother to come home outside the house? And I spoke to her and I said, you know what? Bring them to me. I'll look after them while they're waiting for you to come home, because you shouldn't really leave them outside. And then I thought, I can make money doing this. Have you got something to tell me?
I'm pregnant. So this is a Mother's Day celebration. Prosecco and that.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, you haven't got any. You haven't got any. So we'll put more in. Hopefully I don't get it down you.
Hopefully you won't.
I'm pouring it like a pirate. Yo-ho!
Yeah, that's enough.
Yo-ho.
That's okay.
A pirate's life for me. So yeah, in honour of Mother's Day, which is very soon, I thought I would ask you some stuff about motherhood and being a mother and being a mum to me.
I just want to say, I mean, I think Mother's Day is bullshit, but also I feel like, what about the people that don't know their mothers? That's all I can think about. That's why it's bullshit. I mean, what about the people that don't know their mothers, have never met their mothers don't want to know them, they don't get on with their mothers? There must be so many people that don't want to celebrate Mother's Day.
Elizabeth Day, actually, she always posts, because she can't have kids, she always posts something to kind of remind people that there are some people who can't have kids, and so they can't celebrate being mothers as well as having mothers.
No, but you can always foster or adopt if you really want something, because that's wonderful as well.
On that light-hearted note, let me ask you some of my questions. What would you say is the most surprising thing about becoming a mother?
They told me I was due on the 27th of December, and I thought to myself, I am going to have a baby on Christmas Day, whatever they say. What happened? I had a baby on Christmas Day. So the most surprising thing is, I thought, brilliant, I'm going to be in the hospital, I'm going to be taken care of, everyone's going to come to visit me. And no one came to visit me. Everyone was celebrating Christmas. So from that day onwards, I decided the most important thing on Christmas Day was my daughter.
This daughter, not the other one. That's very good to know.
The daughter that I had on Christmas Day.
That's very good to know that I'm the favourite.
No, you're not the favourite. But I just thought it's just not fair.
Is that why I crave people's attention? Because you didn't get any attention when I was born?
No, I just think that's why I give you so much attention on Christmas Day. I don't care about anyone else. No one else even gets any presents unless they're really, really lucky. Everything is to do with you on Christmas Day.
I would struggle to celebrate Christmas with others.
Maybe it's my fault.
Yes, well, I mean, it's not really Christmas in our household. It's my birthday.
It's a celebration of your birthday, of course.
I am the second coming. What would you say is the most joyous thing about being a mother?
The firsts. So, for example, in your case, the first time you laughed, it was like the weirdest thing. It was just incredible. It was like, I think I had a glove on my hand, it was a glove. I put a glove on and I went like this to you and you just started laughing.
Oh, so it wasn't because I'd farted or something?
No. You were sitting in the car, you turned to look at me. I went like this with my glove, like I was a person. I said, hello, Samantha. And you just burst out laughing, and I'd never heard you laugh before. That was the sweetest thing ever.
Thank you. Because don't they say that maybe it's when a baby smiles, they've broken wind?
Yeah, possibly. No, this was giggling. It was definitely giggling. And that was, oh my God, it was amazing.
What would you say is the most painful thing about motherhood?
Well, I'm trying to think.
Labour?
No, yeah, but that you forget. Painful is if you want to do something for your baby and you haven't got the money to do it. For example, when I unfortunately got divorced, there were times when I wanted you to go on school trips and things like that and I didn't have the money for it. That is really painful. Also, what's really painful is when the baby's in pain, when you're in pain. When you have a child, you feel their pain.
But you're empathic.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first time you ever feel that. That's really bad. Yeah, because I'm feeling what you're feeling, and that's the first time you feel empathy. Well, for me, it was the first time I felt empathy.
For anyone?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't even think I felt empathy in that way. Sympathy, yes, but empathy, no. Not until I had a baby, and then I thought I could feel what they were feeling.
Has that trickled into adulthood, like us being adults, you still feel what we
Oh,
feel.
definitely, unquestionably. Yeah. If you were
Like,
sad,
you were like, no.
if you got a breakup or something like that with a guy or something and you're really, really sad, or you're in pain, I feel the pain.
I do remember
seriously
specifically you telling me after like a few days of like this kind of breakup, it wasn't really a breakup. You did kind of say get over it. I do remember you saying that very specifically.
Well, I remember your breakup from a long relationship. I was seriously couldn't get over it.
I suppose it's like because you also are invested in the relationship in some way.
Yeah, but I'm also invested in my relationship with you.
Top tips for
motherhood.
mothers to be and just motherhood in general. As someone who hasn't had kids and therefore isn't a mother, who might be thinking of becoming a mother at one point, I don't know.
Have you got something to tell me?
I'm pregnant.
Yeah, don't read all the books. If you read all the books, it's like you expect this to happen and that to happen. And your sister, I have to say, she did everything by the book. You were slightly different. I mean, she would sleep after 3 months. She would sleep through the night and she was walking when they said you were supposed to walk. Now, you were a bit different. You didn't sleep for a while. So yeah, I would say don't worry about the books. Every person, every baby will be different. So that's what I would say. Be open-minded.
Be open-minded. That's very nice. So you obviously grew up in London. Mm-hmm. This is true, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right. Whereabouts in London?
Northwest London.
Specific. What was it like growing up in London? Because obviously London now is quite different. We have the Shard, we have the Elizabeth line.
Growing up, it was vibrant, it was exciting, the music was amazing. Yeah, life in London was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Without the use of a mobile
Well,
or a
I mean,
phone, how did you see people?
You would phone. What do you mean you didn't
I
have a
don't
phone? You had a house phone.
Oh, yeah, true.
And you'd spend hours on the phone and you get told off by your dad, you know. You're talking on the phone for too long, the phone bill's going to be really expensive. It was wonderful. I loved living in London. Working in London was exciting.
Because you worked in like Knightsbridge.
Yeah, it was just amazing. It was very different. Everything was new. I mean, obviously it was new for me because I was young. My first job, I got made redundant very quickly after 6 months. Got an amazing reference. Went to work in Burberry's. And after I'd been there for about a year, 1983, a bomb went off in Harrods.
Right.
That was scary.
That's close to Burberry, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It was literally over the road.
Right.
Our windows smashed. It was really, really scary.
Was that when you had kids already? Or was this beforehand?
No, it was before I had kids.
Were you still at Burberry when you decided you want to have kids?
Yeah, I worked for Burberry's. I got pregnant and I went back to work after I had Sarah, your sister.
Straight after? Oh.
After maternity leave, which was about maybe 6 months or something like that.
Do you remember whether it was difficult to go back into work or?
Well, I found a really nice childminder, and yes, it was difficult, but I wanted to go back. And yeah, so yeah, no, the childminder was lovely, so it was okay.
Do you think in that way you were quite lucky? Because I imagine that some people don't want to leave their kids.
Well, I wouldn't say I wanted to leave Sarah, but...
Oh, it wasn't with me? Okay.
No.
Oh, you became a childminder when I was born, right?
Yeah, then. Because, I mean, after the second child, I thought to myself, which was you, I thought to myself, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go back to work because there was no point in paying a childminder for 2 children. So in the end, I didn't go back, yeah.
I just remember growing up around a lot of kids that weren't necessarily related to me. So there was Devontae, and then there was Avi.
Yeah.
And I quite liked the fact that there were
Usually boys.
Usually boys, yeah, who were a lot more like well-behaved. Sam as well. Just having a kind of like extended family.
Yeah.
Whilst sort of growing up with Sarah as well.
Becoming a childminder was a way I could stay at home and earn a bit of money.
You could be a bit of a mother to everyone. Mother Teresa, you.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I became a childminder in the first place was because the kids down the road, for some reason I noticed they were sitting outside their house every day waiting for their mum. And I'm like, come into my house. And then I thought, this is a bit odd. Why are they waiting for their mother to come home outside the house? And I spoke to her and I said, you know what? Bring them to me. I'll look after them while they're waiting for you to come home, because you shouldn't really leave them outside. I said to her, do you want me to take care of them? And then I thought, I can make money doing this. She was doing it for nothing. So I said to her I was going to charge her. So I charged her. They were lovely kids.
Were they boys
a
as
boy
well?
A boy and a girl. And that's how I started it, because I thought it was a brilliant way to make money and make my house fun, you know?
I don't even think I remember growing up with just Sarah in some ways. Like, obviously we went to family events and things, just us two, but I remember having, like, particularly Devonte there. And then you had, like, I think 3 at one point, 4 maybe altogether. Different boys usually from different families.
I usually had
and
boys.
I
'cause
loved
thought-
that.
Yeah. I thought boys would, because I never had a boy.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was nice to have a boy for a bit.
Yeah.
What would you say is the sort of the biggest difference between now and then?
Between now and then, I mean, obviously social media. There was no social media then. I mean, computers were big fat things, enormous big fat things. And I mean, I didn't know anything about computers. And printers is the same. They were like huge. And telegrams, they had telegrams. So your dad, if he went home or whatever, he would send me, or he went abroad, he would send me a telegram, which was, I miss you, ... See you soon, ...
So another thing about motherhood, cheers. How far has motherhood affected the course of your life?
My recommendation for me personally was to have a child after 30, because you've lived your life. So I was ready.
Your life is over by 30 and
No, I
therefore...
don't mean that. I mean, you lived your life, your single life. I was ready to have a child. And did it change the course of my life? Yes, but in a good way. It wasn't in a bad way. It was progression. I didn't realise I was ready for it until I kept going back to my boss at work and saying, I need a promotion, I'm bored. And somebody said to me, maybe you should have a baby. And I thought, oh, okay, maybe I should think about that.
I find that so funny
'Cause I
that
wasn't
was what triggered you to be like, oh, maybe. In the era of social media, you're constantly bombarded with all sorts of ideas about everything, and therefore I can't imagine someone my age or 5 years, you know, even 25 or 24 or 23, having not thought about those kinds of things,
No,
because
I didn't.
conversations are always going on.
Maybe they are, but I wasn't maternal at all until I had kids.
Okay.
So I didn't think about it until that woman said that, and I thought, maybe that is what's missing. I didn't know.
Were you ever worried that you weren't going to be maternal?
I don't remember worrying about it, no.
You're not a warrior like me.
I didn't mean to give birth to a warrior.
Apparently the attachment style of someone develops when they're in the womb. So did you touch your belly too much? Was that what it was?
I don't remember touching my belly
Is
at
that why I'm
all.
so needy?
I don't remember touching my
Is that
belly.
why I'm so needy?
Maybe. Because I don't remember touching it at all. Everyone is so different, so...
I'm sure we'll do another similar
The
one about
divorce.
fatherhood. Divorce.
That's why you might have attachment issues.
Oh,
because
absolutely that is. I mean, I don't, well, here's the thing, I don't actually know, but I mean, I think that was the sort of most triggering aspect of my life. It wasn't so much the divorce, it was the dad going.
Yeah,
That
of
was
course.
because the divorce was fine. The divorce was like, you know, I had a dad week. It worked in a way that was still in the vicinity of where I was and everyone was still present. But I think when dad left and the way it was done was quite jarring.
Yeah, I know. And in my case, I didn't feel insecure for a moment
Yeah.
because everything was okay.
If you're not confronted with it, you might not even think about it.
No.
Yeah. I also don't think that the perception of like the model family is necessarily a thing these days, and I think back then it was like this idea that husbands and wives had to stay together.
No.
And
Back then when I got divorced.
yeah, I think there was more
In
of
your
shame
mind.
around it. I think.
Maybe in my mum's time, but I don't think in my era. I mean, it was
Well,
beginning.
I
Maybe
mean,
it was beginning in my
I meant
era.
like there weren't a lot of divorced. Well, maybe I was just too young
Maybe in
to
your
know.
class as well.
Yeah.
Could have been in your class at school. There wasn't any, but then it happened. I'm sure it happened maybe after you left school or whatever. People started getting divorced because now it's like crazy.
We've really made it light-hearted. Where's your favourite place to go in London for a drink?
Vagabond.
Really?
Well, I just love to be able to go and serve yourself. I think that's brilliant. And all the nibbles that go with it. The almonds and the olives. Delicious. For me, that's perfect.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say the London edition or something.
I love the London edition as well, but much more expensive than Vagabond, so, you know.
This has been Sam and
Mum,
who
loves this Prosecco.
it is very good Prosecco. I think it's
cheap as
Marico
well.
Oro. I don't know how to do
Yeah.
that in an Italian accent.
Bargain Prosecco.
But yeah, £7 in Sainsbury's. How would you summarise motherhood in 2 words?
Eye-opening.
That's one.
Eye-opening. Isn't that 2 words?
That's 1 word. It's hyphenated.
Oh, but it is eye-opening. It's...
Okay. If you liked this video, please like me, I guess.
Yes. People say you're incredible. It's not just me. She's incredible. I'll drink to that.
Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.